As we've now seen, there's 4 driving areas that you could prioritize to make changes inside your organization, and of those 4, there's 2 that will really make a difference in actually driving a quantified change in employee engagement inside your organization. And that's communication from the top and the leadership flow of information. So I'm going to spend a few minutes now to talk about 3 ways that that can be addressed. First, integration. It's creating awareness and an understanding of the big picture of what's happening inside your organization, and even taking it a level outside, a level of understanding of the big picture of the industry that your organization works in. What was very interesting is the research was pretty definitive. Employees feel that they don't have visibility to the business priorities, and they want to know if they're working on the right things. So what are the things that you might want to do here? First and foremost, business plans. All organizations have them. Some are very good at communicating them. Others are atrocious. So one of the things that I talk about is really breaking your business plan down to its key essentials, and I call it the Fisher-Price business plan. In our particular company, we only talk about 2 things relative to the business plan. This particular fiscal year, we have 6 goals. That's it. In the 6 goals are also our financial metrics, but it should be easy for everybody to understand these are the 6 goals that we're chasing this year. Then, as the guts of the business plan, we have 10 focus areas. The 10 focus areas run across the spectrum of the organization. Some people might be involved in 3 of those 10, 4 of those 10, but nobody's involved in 10 of those 10. And that's all we talk about. The 6 goals, the 10 focus areas. It's easy when we roll the business plan out because people have been involved and have inputted to it. It's easy to update in a town hall discussion. It's easy to see how people at an individual day-to-day level are connected to what we're doing as an overall organization. The second thing is performance management, and this is nothing new. You know this, and maybe it's just a breakdown somehow in the organizations, because the research clearly showed that performance management is not working in connecting the employee to the greater purpose and the bigger picture of the organization. And the last thing is just that leaders have to understand around business plans how to connect it down to each and every employee. This idea of focusing on the what, but focusing even more on the why. Next, we want to talk about transparency. And it is improving the flow of information and the frequency of the communication. Again, the research was very insightful. It said that employees feel that they are out of the loop and they may not be involved in the decisions that impact them. Communication could be well-intentioned, but it's getting bottlenecked, and sometimes it may only be flowing in one direction. Communication down, but not communication flowing up. Business plan updates have to be done. You've got to connect them back to the original business plan, and you have to spend the time on progress. Where is progress being made? Senior leaders need to understand that their frontline managers and the HR functions as a total are actually there to help them improve the up and down flow of communication. Again, consistently as we do these tours, we find that senior leaders are good at creating messages. They're not good at equipping the next level down with the information they need to be also hand in hand in communicating. So when we're talking with leaders, we say to them, do not communicate alone. Involve your next level managers, equip them properly, equip your HR people properly. They are the ones who will be approached with the questions, not the leaders, and you have to equip them with the information and the answers. Also, senior leaders and the management teams need to know it's not just about pushing information down, it's about pulling information up. Time and time again, it's the rank and file workers who know what the solutions are, they know what the problems are, they know how to solve them, but they're not listened to, and that has to be very, very important. And last, just connecting with employees more frequently and informally, that's a must. Different organizations can do it in different ways, but this whole basic idea of accessible senior management is absolutely critical. And I just want to say one thing about communicating internally. Amy mentioned it ever so briefly. One of the things we found in the report was interesting. There's a whole battery of questions where we asked Canadian workers how they want to receive their communication, what medium they would like to receive it through. I know that there's a lot of work in some organizations these days that everybody's on the social media bandwagon about using social media platforms as a way to communicate to employees. There's nothing wrong with that, but I can tell you statistically, it's less than 10%, much less than 10% of employees want to receive employment-related information from social platforms. They want it through the conventional methods. They want it through email, they want it through face-to-face and town halls, virtual town halls, but they want it in those traditional mechanisms. So if you're spending a lot of time or resources on building social media into your HR communications, I'm not saying stop, but you may want to double check on how important that really is to the workforce, because our data would say it's not very important at all. And that even means to Gen X and Gen Y, because we looked at that data separately, and they're not even looking to get employment-related information through those platforms.